Artificial intelligence. I mean, it's not sci-fi anymore, is it? It's everywhere. It's recommending what movie you should watch tonight, it's helping doctors spot diseases earlier, and it's even deciding who gets approved for a loan. It's honestly one of the most powerful tools humanity has ever created. But here's the thing. When a tool is that powerful, you can't just let everybody build their own version with no instruction manual. That'd be chaos. So, who's writing the official rulebook for AI?
Well, right now, the AI landscape often feels a lot like the Wild West. The potential is absolutely massive, but when there's no sheriff in town, you start to see some real problems. Things like biased hiring algorithms and AI systems that behave in totally unpredictable ways. So, is it really the Wild West? The short answer is, yeah, kinda. It's this exciting new frontier, and that freedom is what drives innovation. But at the same time, it also creates some very specific and pretty serious risks that we absolutely have to manage.
Think of it like this. Imagine you have a sports team full of superstar athletes, just incredible talent. But there's no coach, and there's no playbook. You might see some amazing moments for sure, but you're also going to see total chaos. And that chaos leads to real-world problems. You get unfair bias creeping into huge decisions. You get the infamous black box problem where nobody can even explain why an AI made the choice it did, and it becomes a huge headache for anyone trying to prove their system is actually safe and fair.
But what if that chaotic team of superstars got a world-class coach who showed up with a comprehensive playbook? Well, that's exactly what's just happened. The international community has come together to create that playbook, specifically to bring some order to the chaos of AI.
So let's open it up. It's called ISO/IEC 42001, and you need to know this is a massive deal. This is the world's very first international standard for an AI management system. So for any organization out there that's either building or just using AI, this isn't just some other document to file away. This is the new global benchmark for how to do AI responsibly.
So, what even is an AI management system, or AIMS for short? Well, it's not a single rule, and it's not a piece of software you can just install. It's the whole framework. The best way to think about it is like the binder that holds the entire playbook, every strategy, every safety drill, every single procedure. It's the whole shebang that an organization uses to govern its AI.
Okay, so where do you even start with something this big? Well, the very first step in the playbook, which is covered in Clause 4.1, is all about one thing: understanding your own team. Before you can even think about competing, you have to know who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, and the world you're operating in.
And this idea of context really breaks down into two key areas. First, you've got your internal factors. This is basically your team's DNA. What's your company's culture all about? What are your actual technical skills? What are you trying to achieve? And then you've got the external factors. This is the league you're playing in. What are the actual laws and regulations? Who are you competing against? And what does society expect from you? You just can't build a winning AI strategy without a really clear view of both sides.
All right, so you understand your team and the league you're in. What's next? Well, Clause 4.2 asks a really important question. Who's in the stands? Who actually cares if your AI project succeeds or fails? In the official language of the standard, these are your interested parties.
Let's use a real-world example to make this crystal clear, okay? Imagine your university decides it's going to use a new AI system to help professors grade student essays. Who cares about this? I mean, who is actually affected by that decision?
Turns out, a whole lot of people care. The students, obviously, need to know they're getting a fair, unbiased grade. The professors need to be able to trust the tool, but also know that they have the final say. The university administration is thinking about its reputation, efficiency, and making sure they don't get sued. And of course, you've got government regulators who are watching to make sure data privacy and educational laws aren't being broken. See, every single group has a different but totally valid stake in how this AI performs.
So now that we've identified the team and all the fans in the stands, Clause 4.3 forces us to do something critical. We have to draw the actual lines on the playing field. This is called defining the scope. You have to decide exactly what is in bounds for your AI playbook and what is out of bounds. And the key word here is specificity. You have to be super clear. Does your AI management system cover every single AI project across the entire company, or is it just for that one essay grading tool we talked about? There isn't a single right answer here, but being vague is definitely the wrong one. You've got to draw those boundaries clearly. And here's where you see how it all connects so logically.
You don't just guess what the scope should be. You figure it out based on the work you've already done. You take your analysis of the context from that first step, you factor in all the needs and requirements of your interested parties from the second step, and then you can determine the precise boundaries for your management system.
And all of that foundational work comes together right here, in Clause 4.4. This is the moment where you take your deep understanding of the context, the parties, and the scope, and you formally establish the AI management system itself. This is really the formula for success. When you combine a deep understanding of your context with a clear picture of your interested parties and a really well-defined scope, that's when you get the solid foundation for your aims. This is literally how you turn that potential chaos into a clear, actionable plan. Now, I want to end this section on a direct quote from the standard itself because it's just so important. It says, "The organization shall establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve." The keywords there are maintain and continually improve. This tells you that this isn't a project you do once and then forget about. It's a living system. Your playbook has to evolve as the tech changes, as the laws change, and as the world around you changes. So the foundation is now set. The field is marked, the players are understood, and the rulebook is open. But that leaves us with one huge critical question. Who's actually in charge of making the first move? Who provides the leadership to put this playbook into action? We'll cover exactly that in Part 2 of our explainer on ISO 42001,